Hello, and welcome to my playground. This is the Mad Chemist Church, or Church McGurch, depending on where you know me from. And welcome to Madman Reviews Shamania. Let's go with it. So, as always, Midgard, select world. So, with initial review, I don't know what this game is trying to be. This is really so. This game, I think I got on sale for like 40% off. I know this will date it, but I think it was on normal price. It's like $14.99, and I believe I got it for like 40% off. So I got it for like $7 or $8, and I thought I'd give it a try. It looked really good in the previews, but as I played this game, I kind of was like trying to figure out like what is this game trying to be. As you can see, the character model is pretty clunky, not very well designed. It's decent as far as things go, but if I were to just look at this and not tell you what game I'm playing, you would look at that and go, "Oh, you're playing WoW. This is a night elf, right?" And I'd have to tell you, "No, this is not a night elf. This is not my druid named Church X on World of Warcraft. My night elf druid. My first character after the game got out of beta. Well, I stopped playing WoW, or when WoW beta ended and my free trial ended, I quit playing. My account got deleted, and so when I started up again, my first character was a night elf druid named Church X. And I tell you, almost indistinguishable. The crafting in this game is abysmal. It's lackluster. It's like somebody just threw it together in a weekend. The decor is unique. If you want to decorate, I am personally not a decorator. Each item takes an insane amount of resources to craft. Not too much for the decorations, but your normal working stuff takes insane amount of resources to build. Like, yes, you do get a lot per harvest, but 500 wood, 500 stone, and 500 dust to make one item, and then later on 500, 500, 1,000, all this stuff. Some of these are a little bit better. Like, yeah, this is about standard to craft something. Standard, but 1,000. And for a single chest, you're costing that much. And honestly, I found zero reason to go to the chest 2 or chest 3. And they don't do anything different. They are literally a chest with more slots. Usually, like, when you make a game, this one holds more things, but then your final chest, which this is the final chest, you can pull from. You cannot pull from anything in this game. So if I go build, I select it. If I build, and then if I don't have it in my inventory, I can't build. I can rotate, I can do whatever, but I can't. There's nothing I can do. Whereas I found pretty much with this limited amount here, I can do whatever I need. I don't once you get surpass that certain point of items, you no longer need the items, period. Unless you're trying to do decoration, these items are completely worthless. Except for the dust, these items are completely worthless. If I was trying to build like another base, I could, but I found zero purpose for building any more bases than the first one. I just kind of showing all the different kinds of resources here. The different areas have pretty much the exact same resource, just a different color with another star added to show it's a higher tier. All the different foods. And then, so this is where I need to stop and explain. There's 4 weapons in the game, I think. 4. There's a hammer, 2 swords, and a bow. The bow you won't get until a lot later. Or not a lot later, but until the second area. Then you have to purchase it. Then you can't, I haven't found a way to make arrows, but so you have to purchase arrows. These I got off of killing bosses. Food I got from quests. These were stuff I got fishing and through quests. Upgrade areas for the obelisks so that the protection barrier goes further out. These are a resource you get from killing bosses or mini bosses that spawn at random that you can then trade in for things. Upgrading shards, obviously, used to enhance. This was the first mount I purchased. Increases movement speed by 75%. This one was a thing you get through finding different random secret throughout the game. You get these secrets and you collect 30 of them, and then you can press Q and you get this really sick looking wolf deer wolf thing, which has an increased movement speed of 150, which is great, but it can only go on land. This chest here grants you resources from the area you're currently in. So if you need resources from a specific area, you can go to that area, crack these open, and it gives you random with a random amount. Teleports basically tells you to your respawn point. So you cannot build this. This is specifically designed to grill the fish and turn them into this, which pretty much only gives you fish. You cannot build this. You have to find it through either finding pieces or fishing. You can literally fish this up. This you can craft. It literally cooks 3 things. You go into your crafting tab, you go to food, and you make the only dinner. I honestly do not know how old or how new this game is, but this game is like basic alpha. Like, let me look at Steam here. Let me take a look at Steam here. Let's see when. Okay. The last update was May 10th of this year. So basically May 10th, 2026. Preparing full release April 1st. So 1.0 release is what they said. April 1st, 2026. This game is preparing for its full 1.0 release. Full version in progress, May 19th, 2025. Fishing minigame died. I don't know what's going on. Okay. The first thing this game has is October 23rd, 2024, with a thing called Devblog 1, a regular update. Yeah. So this game is almost 2 years old. I just want to preface my review with that. This game is almost 2 years old. and it feels like it's in like not even alpha, like a pre alpha. As I've maxed these items out, except for that one, and I believe that one, I've maxed all these items out, and nothing really changed. Yeah, it says that my power went up on this, or my attack power went up to 266, and my health went up, but didn't really see any difference when I was fighting bosses. I consistently do 46 to 47 damage with these, even though I've fully upgraded them. Even before they were fully upgraded, I was doing like 44 to 45, and now I'm only doing 46 to 47 after full upgrading. Be careful when you put wood in here. It continuously burns even if there's nothing in the multiple slot. I built this board because it, requests certain items and you get certain things like upgrades, the chests, these obelisk shards. Completely worthless. I pretty much can get any of these just fishing. I can literally just sit there and fish all day long. And there is no better fishing rod than this one. There's literally one fishing rod. These are the best X and picks. The durability on all of these is garbage. You have 4 spells, period. This is it. All 4 spells throughout the entire game. You have to wait until the very, very final thing to get this repair station, which repairs things for free instead of for money. This trader can only trade for this. It'll buy everything, but it'll only give you this. And it's at 100% markup, which you can't lower. You have to find this. The first repair station that costs money, you have to find, you cannot build. To upgrade or to basically get new things, you have to give double the normal amount of resources. So, like, to build this, to earn all this, I had to give 500 and 250, which wasn't too bad. But then when, like, 2 to 5, I think when I built it, it was like 100, 250, and 3. Yeah, looking at all this, it gives you these, which then you have to pay to activate this barrier, which only gives you 30 minutes for 4 gold. Gold isn't that hard to get, but it's still 4 gold for 30 minutes. And then you put those obelisk shards in here to get it to 10, which then covers a radius of 50, which all this does is it prevents monsters from spawning within the bubble, and it prevents monsters from crossing the bubble. These chests respawn pretty frequently. I haven't messed with any server settings, so none of this has been messed with. They respawn pretty frequently. They have really good items in them, and a lot. Looking at the map, this is the entirety of the game. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the main starting village, which pretty much has everything you need. They added the last update, which added that you could get other people, like NPCs, and then you could have the NPCs do something like craft, harvest, stuff like that, which there's totems that do the same thing without having to build an NPC. There's like these random fishing villages, these random merchants, and then there's like a handful of random merchants and another random merchant. There's like a single dungeon. There's a guy that does your flying mounts on the tier 2 island, so it's like you're here, you get your basic mount, and then you go over here, you do 2 quests, and you now have a flying mount. There's raids, which are basically just a boss fight, which are easily soloable. There's only 2 of them. There's the Awakening Shrine, which is pretty much like the focus point of what the game's about. This isn't even this Coliseum, it's just a boss fight. this over here. This is just a boss fight. There's literally no NPCs here. There's lightning that somehow strikes through the house. Bugs galore. There's only 4 professions, which I maxed out within the first 2 areas. I maxed this all out within the first 2 areas. I maxed this out. Yeah. I haven't maxed this out because fishing, you get like maybe 5 minutes of fishing before your rod breaks, and you either have to make a new one or come back and repair it. The quests are all repeatable junk. This is all your medical stuff, all your gear. This is literally it. And you can make these stones which teleport you back to home. The different picks, as you can see, I have the best one, and a single fishing rod. Some of these items you can purchase the blueprints from people, or I literally spent like half an hour fishing and got every single blueprint and every single animal you can get in the game I got through fishing. So I'm like, what is going on with this game? And that what I mean by animal is you get this collection here. You can get a chicken, a wolf, a spider, a mushroom, a fairy, or a dinosaur. And these will follow you around. Like the wolf, I'll summon the wolf. They bug out. I typically don't have these out because they bug out constantly. They cause lag. And as cool as they look, they're not worth having it out. Like I said, I don't know what I was expecting. I pretty much think I'm playing WoW. So by the second area, I now have this dragon, which is moving at 150, and can fly, negating half the game. I don't have to worry about half the shit in the game now because I have a mount that can fly. So once you beat the game, you can find these spirit breaches, enter them, and then activate this void altar. We'll start an event, make sure your party is ready. So when you start this, you'll go into an event. Looks like there's no way out. You'll do this event, it'll drop you these like void shards, and then you pretty much use the void shards for getting items that you don't really need. Pretty much the only thing these void shards are good for is getting you gear that you don't... That's a new character model, actually. I've never seen that. Oh no, that's the turtle. So every area has like 2 new... Essentially 2 new... Are you kidding me? Recovery gate, that's where it spits you at it. Okay. 2 new models of enemies, I want to say. So basically 2 new enemy types, and then at night a certain specific enemy spawns. Oh, and it's gone. Yeah, 2 new specific enemy types per area, and then at night, I didn't get to keep anything. And then at night, you get these weird-looking elementals that there's a up close and personal one, and then there's a one that stands back and shoots. So not a lot of variety. So after you beat the game, you unlock this, and it basically kind of explains what's going on, why those rifts appear, and then you can purchase things. So you purchase these, which you get a neck, a ring, and a trinket, which are item level 20. So much higher up. And you can also purchase mounts. You can get a void dragon or a void chicken, which still have a speed of 150. 150. What does my regular dragon that I paid 2 tokens for? 125. I have that much power, and my damage is only 22. There's things aren't adding up here. Like, that's a whole lot for a whole little nothing. Let's go check out the village. For some reason, you always start flying if you're on your mount, even though, like, I'm on the ground. Starter gear basically just gets you pretty much the only gear in the game. So you can purchase this or eventually make it. Eventually you can make that too, but this is pretty much the only stuff in the game. You have to come here and purchase it. You can't craft it, you can't find it. You just have to come and purchase it. You have your basic goods trader, which literally gets you your basic goods. You have your mount vendor, which sells these different mounts. Like, once again, 70, 125, but these are ground mounts, they can't fly. And cool, you get a chicken that can go 125. I don't know if it flies. I have a dragon. I paid 2 tokens for doing 2 quests that weren't that much. Your magic vendor, or spell trainer, whatever you want to call it. Literally, like, I don't. I don't get it. Like, there's 4 spells. That's it. There's this guy, which gives you a quest, but it's a repeatable quest. You literally do it once, and then it's like, hey, do this again. There's a transfiguration, basically, way to. So this is what your normal gear looks like, and it's pretty much the only gear I like. That, so we'll go with that. There's literally show your weapon or don't show your weapon. These wings are pretty cool. Each one you get by doing like a different achievement, basically. Let's do that and apply that, and that's it. So that's pretty much all you get for customization. As for all the other vendors, they're literally non-existent. You have a basic vendor here, you have a mysterious vendor, you have the mystery vendor over here, the dragon vendor over here, which literally has 4 dragons that all do the exact same thing. There's a single dungeon. There's ruins, which basically just has a bunch of enemies standing around in a bunch of chests. This dungeon is like, it actually goes down and winds around in a couple places, and there's a couple things there. There's literally nothing here, and there's literally nothing here. Just some new enemies. And like I said, there's only 2 new enemy types in each region. So there's like a turtle and a bird, the dinosaur and the spirit, fairy, the mushroom and the spider, and then the wolf and the chicken. And then at night, these 2 elementals appear. Everywhere. It doesn't change per region. The wolf does show up again in here, so there are like 3 different enemies here. Like, the bosses. Oh, the bosses were exactly the same, just reskinned to look differently. They had the same move sets, and I think each boss slightly added to like a new move or something per boss. On top of, you can, I don't know if you can die from starvation, but you do take damage if you're hungry. can't upgrade your magic. You can't even improve your magic. Your magic is literally climbing, gliding. Oh, that's right, yeah. And your powerful attacks. When you're fighting, you can spam and you'll do a combo. Or if you click and hold, it's like click, click, hold. It doesn't activate the power attack, but if you click, if you're supposed to be able to click, click, hold, and I don't know if you have to have an enemy, but there it is. You do this power combo, which I should be able to get this power combo off pretty much every time because it's just like a click, 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 hold. But if you do not click, click, hold, you don't do the combo. So the combo is kind of buggy. The damage sometimes doesn't go through. There's almost 0 point in sleeping, except for to, my respawn point's been set. There's pretty much no point to decorations. There's really no point to anything. I don't know what this game is. I don't know what this game is aiming for, and I can't believe after 2 years, this is it. The bosses, the 4 bosses are exactly the same. To get the key to fight the 3rd boss, which I didn't know was the 3rd boss, which was this wind elemental. You had to harvest 1,000 of each of the N tier ore. So 1,000 of Cinderite, 1,000 of Cobalt, 1,000 of the Etherite, and 1,000 iron, because there's nothing other than iron. It goes like iron, gold, cobalt, diamond, Etherite, obsidian, Cinderite. Whatever. So you had to farm 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, and 1,000. And then after you've done that, you could then go talk to the NPC and get a key to go fight the boss. So little did I know that I waited until I fought the fire boss, which was over here, because you had to get the obsidian to get the obsidian pickaxe to get the cinderite, to then get the key from the quest giver over here to unlock this arena to go fight the boss. Didn't know that. Went in there, and this boss is level 40. This boss was level 30. When you look at this, if you look at this, at the normal shrine before you beat the game, it's like water or earth, water, wind, fire. So I had earth, the water, blank, and then the fire, and then I go fight this guy and he's 10 levels weaker and I just destroy him, whereas this guy I had a little bit of trouble with because of how buggy and small the arena is. He just kept pushing himself up and over and getting stuck in the air, like high up where I couldn't hit him, and then he'd reset. I had him dead 3 or 4 times, and then he would just whoop into the air, reset, and fall back down. There was a couple times he'd get stuck to the point where I couldn't hit him, and I'd have to exit the game and come back. This game is in alpha. Not even an alpha. There's a void rift there, which these only spawn at night. This game isn't even an alpha. This is like a concept. This is something I would bring to somebody to like try to sell a game. You can fish up even though this says source, rare drop from its corresponding creature 2%. I've gotten every single one of these more than once while fishing. I've gotten the recipe for building, and here's, you can see, this is all the base building. This is the first one you unlock. This is the second one you unlock. This is the third one you unlock, and this is the fourth one you unlock. your base doesn't get attacked. If you don't have the bubble up, monsters can literally spawn inside your house, as I've had that happen multiple times, where I'm sitting here doing something and they have this thing called a popper. That's another enemy that spawns only at night, which is essentially like a smaller little thing, green thing that's basically a creeper from Minecraft, that runs up to you and explodes in my base. I'm like, door's closed, right there, door closed. Just came downstairs, ran right up to me and exploded. I'm like, cool. So overall, I don't know what I expected for $7, honestly. I'm not going to say I want a refund because I actually had fun. I actually played the game and enjoyed it for what it was. But the more I played, the more I saw that, is this a scam? Is this a scam game? Or is this somebody who's just kind of like picking and pulling and putting everything together and just, this is my first attempt at a game? I'm not going to say it's a scam. I'm not going to say it's super bad and super don't play it. But I just want to give a fair warning for this game. Wait until it goes on sale. Do not pay the $14.99. I mean, even if you paid the $14.99, you still would be getting $15 worth of entertainment from what it was. You would still be getting a better game than most AAA games today. This is a multiplayer game, and I soloed it in like less than 20 hours. I think I have, I don't even, let's see, how much time do I have on this game? 16.3 hours. So I'm going to say I pretty much beat this game in under 15. Maybe less, because of the fact that sometimes I just hit this. The game doesn't pause, by the way, which I found out because I came back and I was dying and getting hit. So this does not pause the game. Just FYI. I would just put my character here and walk away. So there's probably more time on here than anything. There really isn't much in the settings to play with. You can change it. Enemy. You can't change it to hardcore, but you can change it to like brutal or easy. And I'm like, dude, I could probably do hardcore. I think I died like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, if I was really trying, I would have not died at all. And I think most of the times I died because of how buggy the game is. Obelisk, that's, like I was saying, I have to be careful because lightning can strike you through your base. Yeah. Even through this barrier, lightning can still strike you. That's how just broken this game is. Your bed, your trade altar, your... So, I didn't do this because all this does is allow you to change the way your character looks, and honestly, there wasn't that much in the whole looks department for character creation. And then the two latest things they added was the Settler Lodge. Provides a small home for one settler. Basically, you build it. Hey, you have a settler. And then your settler command board, assign tasks and manage settlers remotely. So basically, you can put this down and anywhere. You can tell the settlers what to do. Pretty self-explanatory. And in all reality, that's the game. You can dodge. The combat is pretty lackluster. It's literally smack, smack, dodge, smack, smack, dodge. As you saw, as I was just kind of goofing around. I had to look this up and it took me forever to find this, but the difference between the Furnace 1 and the Furnace 2 is this takes 30 seconds to smelt. This takes 25 seconds to 25 20 20 25 seconds to smelt, and this takes 15 seconds to smelt. So 30, 25, 15, or it might be 30, 20, 15, but these just gather the corresponding resources. Completely useless, especially with the settlers that can do the exact same thing. Yeah. Upgrading felt like it literally did nothing. And you can't pull from chest. That's another thing, because you have to carry everything. The game is almost... There's no explanation to anything. It tells you basically the very, very basics. And it took me forever to figure out that you had to take the resource out of your inventory and drop it in here. Or I believe it was like control click or shift click. And it would send the resource over. Once you did that, you clicked complete, you got the rewards. Or you could like do a make to do list and it'll show you what you need. But yeah, that's it. That's the game. I don't know how this game is on its way to full launch. I don't get it. But anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. That concludes this review of Shamania. I hope this developer, I want to say this is a one-person team. I can see what you're going for. I can see what you want. I can see the dream you have for this game. I just think this is a very poor execution. As someone who has played sandbox games, all kinds of games, MMOs, I've played thousands of different games. This is something I would expect to see in like the $2.99 pile. Like you're offering the game because you want people to play it, not the 10 plus pile. I'm not going to say that, like I said, I'm not going to say that I regret spending the amount of money that I did, and you probably won't regret spending the $14.99 if you spent it, but I can't see this game not having been refunded quite a lot. Thank you for watching. Those that have watched all the way through, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you've played this game. Let me know what your thoughts are on this game. And if you have any thoughts for the developer, like maybe the developer looks through videos, looks for ideas, looks for little helpful critiques. All I know is that this game was extremely buggy, extremely underdeveloped, and for a 2-year-old game that looks like it's pretty infrequently updated, it's not the worst thing I've played. Let's be honest. It's actually probably one of the better things I've played, especially if this is a one-man developer. But thank you again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And until next time, the story's been told, the dice rolled, the wheels spun. Until next time, adventure on.